All right, folks, I am Tom Downey. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for more Cowboys coverage. Too many questions we did not get to here on today's live Q&A. So keep using hashtag Cowboys in the comment section. Bruce Brett going to keep bringing up here for you on the show. From, I don't know if is it Sir Cowboy or Senior Cowboy? Let me know. Williams was taking reps at tackle. We have a chance to become the starter. The reps came at left tackle, and there's no way in hell you ever start Sewell over a healthy Tyrone Smith. You just don't do that. What I think the left tackle reps were to help cross-train Connor Williams at tackle. Now, if you're going to move him to right tackle, it might even be easier to go to from left guard to left tackle than to right tackle in terms of the way the footwork works. Now, I don't know if the Cowboys will truly give him a chance at right tackle. I kind of like that idea. Move Collins back inside a guard now. I've changed my viewpoint on that after the selection of Connor McGovern. But we'll see. I don't think he ends up starting right tackle if everyone's healthy. From Cowboys 5 Rings, a good name there. Will Quinn and Lawrence combine for 25 sacks? That's a lot. Here's the thing. Let's just be optimistic and say that DeMarcus Lawrence ends up with 15 sacks, which is a lot. That's going to be top 3 in the NFL, and that's not often repeatable. That leaves Robert Quinn to get 10. He hasn't hit 10 since 2014. I don't think he combines for 25 sacks. I just don't think that happens for Quinn and Lawrence. Should they approach 20? Yes, they should. Will they get to 20? Very possible. I don't think you're going to see 25 combined from those two players. That is a lot to ask for. Of course, there are snaps available. I could see Quinn getting 6 or 7 or 8, and that's really good production from your number 2 edge rusher. But to have 2 guys approach 20 or approach double digits each, I'll get your hopes up. Vincent Cook, is the NFL too harsh when it comes to Zeke? Well, on the first one, yeah, I definitely think so. But I can't make a judgment on this one right now because nothing else has happened. The NFL has not come down on Zeke since then. So if they do come down hard, then yes. But for now, no. Oof, Thomas Sawyer, the commenters aren't going to like this one. I disavow this comment. Get rid of Zeke now, says Thomas. But why? Like, aren't you trying to win games this year? Zeke helps you win games. It's kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm just saying. All right, Josh Rodriguez, would you rather keep Byron or Jaylon Smith? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Look, I think, you can find a way to keep both if you really want to. That's tough. I can't remember what to say this. I think I might go Jaylon Smith. I'm probably going to go Jalen. I love both those players, but, and we mentioned this on a previous show, I think you can get away with doing the Tom Brady thing and, having the Jones family business buy into the Jaylon Smith business and save money that way, which is totally legal, by the way, in the NFL. And then if Byron wants $15 million, I might just rather throw that to Jalen. It's a tough one, though. I think I'm going to go Jaylon Smith, though. I figure most will take Jalen, but that's tough for me. Kyle Clements, do you see Larry Allen Jr. starting down the line? I know his name is Larry Allen, but if his name was not Larry Allen Jr., if it was Allen Larry, we would not be having this conversation. He's not his dad, guys. He could have only signed with the Cowboys, but if he even makes the practice squad, I'll be happy. That would be a big success for Allen this year. All right, next up from Jacob Hillin, do you think we could trade Jourdan Lewis and Tyrone Crawford for a decent draft pick? Well, the issue is neither of those players have a ton of great value to other NFL teams. Lewis has hardly played, and Tyrone Crawford does carry a sizable enough cap hit. Now, you could get something back. Like, I'd say a mid-round pick I think could for sure happen. My problem is this. You're trying to win games right now, correct? You are not better trading away those 2 players. I think you get worse if only for depth purposes. And frankly, let's say you get a 4th-round pick back, which I think is feasible for those 2 guys. You are hoping that 4th-round pick becomes as good as one of those players. That's not great value. As producer Brett says, and I said, it is time to free Jourdan, though. Producer Brett says he didn't say it. He says it, though. I've heard him say it before. He is a fraud. Free Jourdan. I want to see Jourdan Tank have more success. I want to see him play more because I think he's better than Anthony Brown. Producer Brett looks confused on this one. I don't know if he's looking at the profile picture. He is looking at the profile picture. From Corey, are you secretly hoping the Cowboys tank this year so that we can get rid of Garrett? Absolutely not. I want to win games. I would so much rather win a Super Bowl this year than fire Garrett and hope to win one next year. I would rather try to win games this season. Corey, by the way, says his favorite beer is a Sierra Nevada Sidecar. Thank you, Corey. Make sure you tweet that to me at WhatGoingDowney. Send me a photo of yourself drinking it there and tag Sierra Nevada as well in that tweet. Get some more YouTube comments here. Again, use that hashtag Cowboys in the comments section. A good one from Manster54. Why haven't the Cowboys brought in anyone to challenge Brett Maher? I don't know. Great question. They should. I'm going to go with the theory that it's still early. We haven't hit training camp yet. You can wait and sign somebody later. From Karam, I don't even want to. It's Amari Cooper, my dude. Of course it's Amari Cooper. One you paid $5 million to. One you're about to pay 3 times that to. Amari Cooper, by far, is your number one wideout. Frankly, he could double Cooper's stats across the board. Absolutely across the board. All right, some more Facebook questions here. Jeffrey Johnson says MGD. Oh, these are all the favorite beers, excuse me, so make sure you tweet them to me at WhatGoingDowney. Corona. It is Corona season now. It's very hot out. MJD, I mentioned that one. What? Producer Brett had me want to do something. I have no idea what he wanted to do. Corona from Jamil. Steven Gipson says Mick Ultra. Thank you for putting these in. Also, go tweet them to me at WhatGoingDowney. Tag yourself and the company in it. Again, that's for your favorite beer. All right, next up from William. Is it possible that Zeke averages 125 yards per game? On the ground, no. I don't think that's going to end up being the case. I don't think he hits that figure. If you include the rushing numbers, maybe, again, that puts you at 2,000 yards. I think if you include receiving yards, yes. On the ground, no. Get to some more questions here from G-Bob. That is the going rate into the NFL reaches enough point with these quarterback salaries. So he's saying $30 million is the figure for Dak Prescott. That's what G-Bob means there. Now, he's right. That is how the NFL works for contracts. And he's also not wrong that the contracts have gotten a little bit out of control. But then you also remember to say, oh yeah, here's the backup quarterback market, and it's trash. It is awful. When you get out of even the top 15, top 20, it's not great. And the top 35, they're all scrubs. That's a big thing there. From DNA, or I should say DNA, why don't you get rid of Allen Hurns and pay Dak or Zeke more? Note one, you don't have to dump Hurns to do that. You can pay them both right now. With that said, you are correct. I don't know why you would want to pay Allen Hurns $5 million to be at best your number 4 or number 5 receiver. That don't make any sense. From Lucia, chance Zeke is suspended in percentages. If so, how many games? I'll translate the games. I don't know. 10%? 15? 5? I don't know. It should be 0, but it's Goodell. If there is a suspension, I don't think it'd be anything more than a game or 2. I really don't think that would be anything higher there for the Cowboys and Zeke. Another question from Lucia. What's your way too early 2020 first round pick? Let's see. You're picking at 32 overall. Maybe you go receiver. It's a great receiver class. I don't think T. Higgins lasts that far. I don't think CeeDee Lamb lasts that far. I doubt Shenault lasts that far. How about, okay, I'll throw out 2 names. I'll go full Big 12 homer here for you guys. How about Colin Johnson from Texas or Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State? 2 names for you there. And by the way, we did do a way too early 2020 NFL mock draft based on the Vegas odds. Don't blame me for where the Cowboys pick. I did take a receiver. I won't tell you who. Go subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. It's up there for you. From Mitch, Will they finally give Will McClay the GM title? I think for McClay and the Cowboys in particular, the title doesn't matter. Because in reality, Will McClay has GM powers and responsibilities. He has a ton of input. He and Stephen Jones run the show. So, yeah, McClay doesn't have the GM title, but I often call him the de facto GM for the Dallas Cowboys, much like how Chris Wright is the de facto defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. So McClay is not going anywhere. If he didn't take the Texans job, he was not taking any other job. So every time a GM job opens, someone says, what about Will McClay? And every time they go, he's not leaving the Cowboys. He has a great situation here in Dallas. Don't worry too much about the title. From Arthur Watson, should Zeke be the highest paid back with the way contracts work? Absolutely. He should be the highest paid back in the NFL. 2Fly215. Cowboys people, hashtag Cowboys, stop asking dumb questions. Well, you know the saying, right? There is no such thing as dumb questions, only dumb, right? I kid. I don't have a question. I don't have a problem with your guys' questions, just for what it's worth. All right, from Keith the Man, which rookies will have a breakout season? I reject the premise of your question. I don't believe you can have a breakout year in your first year. I don't think that is a breakout. That's not a breakout. That's just existing. So, despite that, I'll say Tristan Hill or Tony Pollard will probably make the biggest impact for those first two players. Sergio Jamie, could Zeke break Emmitt Smith's record? I don't think so. In today's pass-happy NFL, maybe things swing back to being more ground game focused. Look, the biggest thing going in Emmitt's favor was longevity. Zeke's got to play for a lot of years to hit that mark, so I would not get my hopes up by any means there. From Marco, I still pray we get Randy Gregory back. Dude is straight savage regardless of his off-the-field hobbies, LOL. I hope so too. Now, again, the biggest thing, the Cowboys proved this offseason, can't bank on Randy coming back. You just cannot bank on that being the case. All right, from Christian, over or under Zeke Elliott having 10 games of 100-plus rushing yards. Well, let me go back and let me just get my baseline here. Remember how many 100-yard games Zeke had in 2018. Because that does kind of seem like the right number here for Zeke. And I also, as a Zeke Elliott dynasty owner, I hope the over. Hope he goes for every single game for over 100 yards. But let's see. So we had one in week 3, week 4, week 6, week 10, 11, 12, 14. That's only 7. So I'll go with the under there. I'll go with the under on that question. Sergio, when was the quarterback market broken? I don't know. It's to some extent it's always been broken. It just looks more broken because the cap has gone up. Look, I think maybe in particular, 2 recent deals that really made it tough to go low. Jimmy Garoppolo got $27.5 million on like 7 games of experience, and Kirk Cousins got almost $30 million, and he's not as good as Dak Prescott. So that's kind of my main point there. All right, folks, make sure you subscribe to the Cowboys Report. Use that link below. Just hit the big red button. YouTube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. If you're subscribed, you see other great content, like polls you put on the channel as well, like this one we did earlier today. Which tight end will have the most receiving yards for the Cowboys? Here were those results as what they were like an hour ago. Jason Witten, 60%. Blake Jarwin, 20%, which I think that's fair. Dalton Schultz, 7%. And 4% of you were wrong and picked Rico Gathers. For a while, Rico was real close to Dalton Schultz, and I was kind of going, now, wait a minute here. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, I think it's Witten in the end. Jarwin is your second. I think the order's right, but I think there are too many votes for Rico Gathers, quite simply. All right, more questions here live on the Cowboys Report. This one from Mitch. Can we get rid of Crawford already, or ask him to take a pay cut like Sean Lee did? Well, look, I used to be on the Crawford's contract is bad, let's dump him. But offseason rest notwithstanding, Crawford has been doing the dirty work for the Cowboys and really one of the more undervalued players. He is probably overpaid, but you probably just pay him this year and then move on next year or do a pay cut next year. Crawford at least is reliable and productive and consistent. Do you want to get rid of that given the issues with Taco Charlton and DeMarcus Lawrence's injury, which isn't a big deal, and Robert Quinn being older and Gregory's suspension and Collins' injury history? You want that versatility there. At worst case, Crawford's your 5th best defensive lineman. Yeah, he's probably way higher than that. He's probably your 3rd best even. But I don't think you want to cut him quite yet. From Curt Colston, do anyone see Jalen Jelks making the roster? I mean, he can, but as a 7th-round pick at the most deep position on defense, that's fair, right? He has a very tough task. So I think he's a practice squad guy in year 1. Next up from Stephen Darrington, do you think Kellen Moore can craft a strong offense, misspelled offense, if Zeke is suspended for 2 games? Well, yeah, because there's still 14 other games. And yeah, it's not going to be as good without Zeke Elliott, but it's not like he's gone the entire season. It's not going to be as good those 2 games, but it's not going to be a complete disaster for the entire season, you know? From Juan Ramos, if Zeke gets suspended, will the Cowboys make a run at Jay Ajayi, and will they get McCoy if they cut Crawford? Again, I don't think they're going to cut Crawford right now. I'd be a little bit surprised, but I mean, it's certainly plausible. I think it makes more sense to cut him next year, just from a monetary perspective. Meanwhile, for Zeke, if he gets suspended, I hope they go after Ajayi. I would like to have him be kind of your top backup and use Pollard more as a chess piece, rotational type guy in year 1. Sergio, a longtime watcher, back again. Why doesn't Hurns take a pay cut? I do not believe the Cowboys have asked him to take one yet. Now, if and when they do ask him, he should. I can stomach Hurns at $2.5 or $3 million this year. A lot more than I can say $5 million. And for Hurns, he might say, that's what I'm going to get if I get cut. So, I don't think it's been approached yet, though, with Hurns and the Cowboys. Allen, how will the offensive line be now that Frederick is back? Hopefully better. Look, Joe Looney filled in way better than I thought he was going to. He was pretty darn good. He was at least a below-average starter. Maybe an average starter. He's not Travis Frederick. So if he's healthy, back to the guy we love, and even just a top 5 center, the offensive line is going to be a lot better this year for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.